Welcome to Coaching Unplugged, where the silence ends. On this channel, we uncover the real stories of hazing that schools and organizations would rather bury forever. If you stand with us in the fight against hazing, hit subscribe and like this video, because here we give survivors and families the voice that they were denied, and we shine a light on the harm that hazing has brought to far too many families, including my own. I'm Uncle Chris, and tonight we head to New Brunswick, New Jersey, where a 19-year-old Rutgers student was found unresponsive in a fraternity house. The chapter was Alpha Sigma Phi, and the question is really, what really happened? What are the events that led to the tragic accident, or was it an accident? Don't go anywhere. This is where the silence ends. Okay, welcome back. I just want to take a quick moment to just say thank you to all the recent subscribers who have graciously left comments, shared this video, watched us on TV, watched us on an iPad, watched us on the computer, laptop, mobile device, wherever you're watching this video right now. I just wanted to say thank you for continuing to be a part of this space, be a part of this movement. Since it has been rebranded back in March, I've really just dedicated this space to not only share my story as a survivor of hazing, but share the stories of those who have been harmed. And we do this with love, light, grace, Christian-led, and wouldn't be here without God himself, truly. So let's get into the story. So on October 15, 2025, just after midnight, first responders arrived at 106 College Avenue, the Alpha Sigma Phi fraternity house near Rutgers University. Inside, a 19-year-old student was discovered unresponsive in the basement and taken to Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital in critical condition. So this is based on the reporting at ABC New York, by the way, ABC 7. Investigators believe that the student was electrocuted, okay, after coming into contact with a live electrical wire, possibly standing in water. Dangerous conditions, obviously, here in this home, in this actual fraternity house. This is being reported by Good Morning America. Rutgers University immediately issued a cease and desist order, halting all fraternity operations. The city of New Brunswick declared the property unsafe for occupancy, citing severe code violations. So this actual house where all things occurred apparently had prior incidents or prior reporting of violations. So days later here, check this out. Days later, Alpha Sigma Phi International released its own findings. It said, and I quote here, based on our investigation, hazing occurred that evening and the chapter is now closed. All members found to be directly or indirectly involved will be permanently expelled. So yes, this chapter is now gone, but the damage is already done. So the danger didn't start that night. City records actually show multiple citations months before. And this actually includes a few things here, guys. Exposed wiring, missing detectors, water in the basement, and blocked exits. So at some point and several times, there was just a missed check to make sure that this building itself was properly up to code. Never mind, not only that hazing occurred, but hazing exposed even a greater problem where this could have actually proved fatal. So this wasn't a freak accident. It was a pattern of neglect that met a culture of silence. And when those two collide, someone always gets hurt. So between 2018 and 2025, Rutgers itself logged nearly 28 hazing incidents, the highest among public universities in New Jersey. This is based off of Yahoo News. From Sigma Chi to Delta Kappa Epsilon to now Alpha Sigma Phi, this pattern, it never changes. The investigation, suspension, the statement that gets released, and then ultimately what gets followed is the silence until another student is hurt or unfortunately passes away. That silence is in the system here, folks. So there's a family, of course, and I have to kind of think about this and kind of paint the picture, but there's a family that's praying by a hospital bed, a mother who sent her child to college for an opportunity to get an education, not a funeral plan. I don't like to be crass when I say that, but I have to paint the picture of urgency why we have to protect our young people. That's the part that we can't ignore here, because hazing doesn't just hurt the student involved. It traumatizes the families and the communities for years. It's a huge ordeal, and it's something to where we have to get serious about this, because these little things like this, where an accident could have been proved fatal, something could have happened. And I don't want to say little by any means. I look at it like this is one of those things where we have to, reminded that warnings can happen. But when the worst happens, we don't want to be reactionary, always consistently reactionary. Something we could have been done, what could have been done here. So we have to start thinking about this as if you're a parent, you're watching this and you're sending your kid off to a school, interested in organizations, you tend to think that, okay, that everything's being done as possible, that there's some type of, review and process, or codes are being met. And we come to find out that that's not necessarily always the case. So let's talk accountability here. And I have to also say, before I even say that, is belonging should never require blood, fear, silence. It should never require you to be harmed. Let me just say that. But again, let me restate. Let's talk about accountability. Alpha Sigma Phi International, they confirmed that hazing was involved, and they closed the Rutgers chapter permanently, which I give full kudos to, because that was going to be a necessary step. The city of New Brunswick actually declared the house uninhabitable after finding ongoing electrical and safety violations. This has been an ongoing case. Rutgers University issued suspensions and opened an internal investigation. So as we get more information about that, I'd like to help share that in coming up as well. But closing a chapter after someone nearly dies isn't reform, it's reaction. Okay, we talked about reactionary efforts that are made. Real accountability is prevention before the injury. So not apologies after it. It's that something should have been done. There should have been a committee of some kind, a student organization, groups, the actual group that oversees all of the campus activities and groups definitely should have had some type of knowledge or safety checks in place. But this is exactly why we need the Stop Campus Hazing Act, right? This is national legislation that was passed in December of last year, 2024. It would require, of course, that these schools to really publicly report hazing incidents and ensure that families know the truth about campus organizations before tragedy strikes. I'd even go a little bit step further to say it might be even best, right, to have parents and students watch some type of anti-hazing awareness video, seminar, be a part of that discussion. Because what I am seeing, and this is even, right at the time when young people are looking to get into college, that they have some level of understanding before they even get on a campus, before they do the campus tours to see which schools that they want to apply for, that they are fully understanding what hazing is, who can actually administer it. And, I just needs to be a lot more awareness before even actually being admitted into the college. So, but that's just my take. But let me just say this too. If you're a student, you're thinking about, again, joining a fraternity, a sorority, I need you to ask, what happens during the initiation? There's nothing wrong with asking those who are members of these organizations. And it's just even going across the board here with, any other type of organizations on campus. What happens during the process to join your organization? Who supervises these events? Is the house certified safe? I remember the house that I was in, I didn't know if it was safe or not. I just knew that this was going to be the place where we were to do all types of strenuous activities, the calisthenics, being beaten, with paddles and those things like that. But we didn't ask, or we didn't think about, does it have a gas leak in the home? Does it have electrical issues? But these are some things that, again, if you're going to be any type of group and you're coming together and you're in an environment where it could be deemed unsafe, you should know what's going on. Let me just say that. What is the university's actual medical amnesty policy, right? And if you're a parent, you're watching this, and I need you to ask the school really the hard questions, because again, you're the ones 9 times out of 10 are footing the bill for your child's education. So when was your last hazing incident reported? A viable question to ask. Do you publicly release the disciplinary records? What's the what records are already in place, as far as organizational mishaps, things like that. We need to kind of know that. What protections exist for students who say no to danger? Okay. Transparency isn't optional when lives are at stake. That's just my thing. But if stories like this, really make you angry, don't keep on, staying silent about it. You should want to do something about it. And I hope that this video, as I'm talking about it, is resonating with you. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. But this is how we fight back really against the silence. And we do that together as a coalition, as a movement. So what really happened in New Brunswick? A 19-year-old student was severely injured after an alleged hazing event in the unsafe house where it occurred with Alpha Sigma Phi. The chapter, of course, is now closed. Students involved face expulsion. The national organization did their own investigation and proved that hazing was involved. But for one family and for a campus still reeling, the damage is already done, because in the game of hazing, nobody wins. So if you stand for truth and the safety, and for students who never got to speak, share this video, send in your comments below. Let me know what you think of the incident. What do you think action should have been taken in order to prevent this? Because we're asking for no more silence. I'm Uncle Chris, and this is Culture Unplugged, where the silence ends. Stay vigilant, stay vocal, never stay silent. This is where the silence ends.